Object that I have, again, my wife wouldn't let me bring it. I didn't actually ask her because I knew it was worthless to ask her, but I knew it wouldn't. You guys have been to the house, you probably saw it anyway. It was the mosaic that's at the by our fireplace of the Tree of Life.
Oh yeah.
And the thing for me was that as we lay out our timelines and you look at it, you can, if you want to see it. As we look at our timelines and you look at all of those colors, it's a mosaic of good and bad and ugly and mundane and all of that, and yet there is this beautiful picture that comes out of it when we're intentional enough to actually look at it and see what God's doing in the midst of that. This mosaic is the Tree of Life. It's from Madaba, Jordan. There's a church there. It's the Tree of Life Church, and it's got this beautiful mosaic, and this is a copy. And in the very corner of it, when we visited, we purchased it, there was a piece missing, which is, so we got a pastor's discount because there was a piece missing. And while we were visiting there, we were able to, an ancient city, we found a piece of mosaic that absolutely fit that spot.
Wow. But
it was not black the way the rest of it was white, so it sticks out in the corner of it. But that's an actual ancient piece of it, and just how I fit into that picture of what God's doing. I have another one that because we kind of collect mosaics, there's another mosaic that my kids and I worked on together. This one is the missional mosaic. This is the Jerusalem cross. It's an ancient picture of the church depicted its mission in the world, and it's Jerusalem is the center, and then the four corners of the earth going out into the pieces of it. So there's that one piece where my life is a mosaic, but there's also the mosaic that I am part of this greater mission that God is trying to accomplish in the world and to go out. But I also have another one, and the other one is a shoe cleaner. And in our contemporary world, we don't wash people's feet anymore, and we don't even wipe each other's shoes. But a reminder to me, part of my connection with Kirk was I'm wrestling with my job as a pastor. Am I this administrator that just administrates this organization, and what's my role? And the affirmation in this process is the administrative part I need to pass off on, but that I need to be the servant to God's people. One of the ancient titles for pastors was the servant of the servants of God, and I've really owned that as my role is to be a servant to God's people as I lead them. And it's really freed me to let go of some of those administrative executive tasks and pass them on to. It's a conversation that we're having with our leadership right now in terms of who can do that. In my sweet spot, it's not part of my sweet spot. Somebody needs to do it, and how do we own that? So the mosaic, the kiwi wipes for wiping people's shoes instead of
their noses.
Instead of their noses. Yeah. So one of the first conversations Kirk and I had was about how people set themselves on fire and they expect us to put them out, and just kind of being freed up from the administrative tasks of putting people out, and sometimes just letting them burn a little bit, and then taking them through how that fits into the mosaic of their lives.